If there's one monument that's supposed to symbolize Iran, it has to be this one, the Azadi Monument. The tower is located in Azadi Square in the western part of Tehran, the capital of Iran. King Mohammad Reza Pahlavi wanted this monument to be rooted in the past and also represent a gateway to the modern Tehran. Even though it's only 54 years old, the architecture is so unique it embodies thousands of years of history. And today we're here to explore it.
We're both wearing red, and it's really too much considering how depressed we both are.
The construction serves 4 pillars, which are not just pillars, they're all that the tower is. And they unite to create a ceiling reminiscent of the Shamse, a well-known sun symbol in Iranian art. The whole square is also a modern adaptation of the ceiling of the Sheikh Lutfullah Mosque in Isfahan. With the motifs constantly getting larger, the whole thing represents the glory of peacock feathers. While here, the pattern also gets a slight deformation to create a more dynamic effect. Okay, there's so much happening in this one building. This main arc here resembles the Taq-i-Kasra monument from the early Middle Ages in ancient Persia, which is now located in Iraq. It is the largest and tallest adobe arc in the world, standing at 120 feet tall. It's just crazy to think about the technology they used to create it. But then that little arc above it is reminiscent of the later Islamic era, where the arcs were pointier.
And this is definitely not what I'm talking about in this video, but the microphone was off, so who knows what I'm talking about.
I really like the fact that we can actually touch this thing and it's not like in a thing.
This whole tower has been made of 25,000 blocks of fine Isfahan stone, carved in 15,000 intricate ways. And all of these stone blocks were gifts from Mr. Rahimi, the father of Iran's stone industry, who personally visited various mines in Isfahan to select these particular type of stone.
And it's 45 meters tall, which is like 148 feet, I think. And it's not really the tallest.
But they couldn't make it taller because it's too close to the Mehrabad airport, which had just been built. They wanted to make sure that foreign travelers would see this first thing when they arrive at the city. But it's interesting how the tile shapes create an illusion of perspective, making the tower appear taller than it actually is. But honestly, I think this tower serves its purpose way better than the giant Milad Tower that's fancy and far no matter where you're standing. This arrogant young man has no clue what's going on in the city and doesn't even look Iranian, and his entire body is basically just an elevator. Very impressive. I always see the Azadi Tower as the heart of the city, while Milad is more like the, yeah, you know, you get the picture. When it comes to unity, it's always the Azadi monument that brings people together. Azadi literally means freedom, but before the Islamic Revolution, it was called Shahyad, meaning in memory of the Shah. Ironically, it only took a few years until the Shah himself became a memory. People were like, wow, what a wholesome symbol of unison this place is. Let's get together here and overthrow the guy who built it. It worked so well that ever since then, protesting has become a part of our culture. Here's a picture of the 2009 Green Movement, which the architect of the building, Hossein Amonat, describes like this.
بعداً یه نفر از من پرسید تو چه احساسی داشتی؟ من فکر کردم که این بنا واقعاً مثل یه پدری اینا رو در آغوش گرفته. یه حالت اینطوری داره. می‌بینی؟ مثل که یه آغوش گرم یک پدری است که از 2-3 هزار سال قبل اینجا بود. و این ربطی به من نداره، این مربوط به ایران.
So this part, we're basically in the center of the square and right under the tower.
And these little thingies here are actually little windows that you'll only believe when you see them from the inside. but two of them aren't windows. If you look closely, on one of the tiles it says 1350, which in Persian calendar is the year they finished building the monument, 54 years ago. And next to it, of course, the king is gonna write his nickname on it, the Aryan sun. But also I noticed there's a tiny writing here that says Hossein Amanat, the architect of the building. Yes, after seeing this tiny ad in the paper, 21 people sent their designs for the jury, and Hossein was chosen, a 24-year-old who had just graduated from the Fine Arts College of the Tehran University. Just like me while filming this video. Before entering, I recommend that you take a moment to walk around the square. Other than the design, the trees are actually very unique, especially if you're there with your really weird friend who is a giant nerd and knows way more than you about the architecture, but just doesn't give a shit because she's too obsessed with every fucking bird or tree or fish coming from her interest in the Eastern Asian philosophy. They might take some really weird shots of you because they're just too obsessed with the damn tree, but you can take some weird pictures of them too. Now let's get inside, but first remember you shouldn't go through the north door. I don't know why I did, even though I saw the sign. Eastern door.
Okay, so this is the eastern part of the whole square. Is that it?
This part is a hall with a lot of rooms, 2 staff, and some random puzzles, because why not? That's the thing about Iran. Don't try to make sense of things. Just see if they work or not.
We were fooled. This is where you're supposed to go. Not this. This is nothing, okay? We were fooled.
So here we are. There are 4 sections. We want to visit them all. The meteorite museum was just a bunch of rocks. I know they're valuable and great and all that, but I think there are like 4.5 people in the whole country who would understand the value of these.
I'm not interested in stones, but this dude is. That's it. We're done.
The next section was the Iranology Hall. I don't know what's the right way to pronounce it. These nested circles represent different periods of Iranian history from 2,500 years ago. For example, you can see soldiers from the Sasanian and Parthian eras, as well as the structure of Persepolis. These pictures are for after the revolution. The last year of war, the 8th year war, and they're like going back or something. And now we enter the hall. This place is full of various symbols from all across Iran. Kind of like a map of Iran with iconic elements from each region. The Holy Shrine of Imam Reza in Mashhad. This one represents the oil industry in Asaluye. And this is a column from Persepolis. And then, of course, the Azadi Tower. These yellow lines show Iran's railway network, and the blue line represents the country's rivers. Also, this illustration here at the door of the Iranology Hall does a really good job at introducing Iran. Look at that. Then we see some stuff related to the tower, but what are they? I know the geometry in this building is crazy good, but no explanation, so. And now the main hall, here's where they actually looked at the tickets and told us to cover up. That means it's serious. First, we saw a couple of pictures of when they were building the tower, then some funny mirrors.
She has an elevator phobia, so we're gonna take the stairs. Only 277. Oh yeah, this is what we need. Wow, I love it. I want to stay here. Okay, 277.
For this part, before taking the stairs, remember to repeat the number 277 as much as you can, then have a snack.
Vegan cookies.
And then just take the elevator.
So I'm in the elevator. It's gonna take me 277 stairs up. Wow. Look at this. So So I'm on the second floor. It looks really weird and scary. That's the outside. I didn't expect this. It's like too dark. I'm glad she didn't come because she's very claustrophobic. 2 elevators because like the whole thing isn't like straight like Mila Tower. So there's 1 elevator here and then the second one. We're halfway there, waiting for the elevator. I kind of like this music that they're playing all the time. We're going to the Cone Dome. This elevator looks funny because of the shape of the building.
Now this is the Cone Dome, which was built 90% for the people who visit inside the tower, because from the outside you can only see a little bit of it. And when it rains, it's supposed to act like a kind of a water feature.
So here, I'm like a guard here watching the enemy from these really tiny windows. I mean, they're going to be tiny from outside, so I can see the enemy, but they can't see me.
So yeah, these are inspired by the fortresses, but also the guard told me something really cool that I didn't even see.
Now I know what these are. They're wind catchers, like we have in Yazd. So the guy was obsessed with Yazd, my city. He asked me to speak with that accent. He told me that these slots here are basically wind catchers that are inspired by
Yazd's architecture. What they do is they pull in cool air and push out hot air, keeping the place breezy. Cool.
Okay, so next take those stairs back down to see each floor.
It's a little scary. It really looks like a fortress.
So let's see the 3rd floor, the sky floor.
Okay, whoa. Look at that. Now I know what that was. I love it.
Okay, I was not expecting random paintings in this place, but why not, I guess? Because our people clearly have a big desire to express themselves. All right, let's go to the 2nd floor where all the windows are. Okay, now I'm back on the ground, and apparently you have to have seen the tower before visiting this floor, which I thought was the Azadi Monument Museum, but nope, there's no such a thing. This is just a little replica. And then we have a photography museum, apparently the biggest one in Iran. There's also 2 gift shops here. They tricked me into buying a necklace to open up all my chakras. I knew all of you were gonna laugh at me for believing in chakras, or at least believing in this lady, but I love the attention, so I went for it. Then we pretended to be interested in old cameras for a while.
What's that? چای عصرانه خانوادگی. حمید محمد علی جدید الاسلام. ایستادیم عکس گرفتیم
زیر بارانها و هلهله ها و تو نیامدی.
آخه
و من سایه داشتم در عکس نیافتادم.
شیشونی
سایه زیادی برای شیشونیم.
قدیما آفتاب زیاد.
And then the last section, mirror hall.
I don't really know why this part is called the mirror hall, but most of the stuff here kind of show the future. Like, they thought these animals you see, they were going to extinct, so they wanted people to see them and become aware of the threat. Or this one is a vision of the Quiche Island that they had just started building at the time.
like the white dome.
Okay, now we're almost done. There are some flags here, cause why not? And this part sounds fun. I had seen a video that the Shah and the Queen were watching something here, but now it doesn't really work. And when we asked, they said it was for emergencies and transporting information if someone was in danger. Outside the tower, there are also many photographers around who will take great pictures of you, but we didn't need them because we had already taken some amazing photos. Also, on our way out, we found a proper entrance.
This is the entrance under the ground.
You can enter through either of these. Overall, the museums were okay. The shops, well, it's been a week and my chakras don't feel any more openness in them, so. But the tower itself is amazing. It's way more than just a building, and even though it isn't really being taken care of, if you're mildly interested in architecture, history, or art, it will still be an incredible experience to visit this place.
But if you can't, I'm Sara, a daughter of Iran, and I'm here to take you places. Wow, we did it. Yes.